Dear Karen, let's take a look at this new letter about the annoying barking dog. Let's see what you wrote. Dear Mr. Smith, I'm writing in regards to the inconvenience caused by the loud barking of your pet dog during the long daytime as well as during the nighttime. This has caused a number of complications for me at work. Okay, it's fine. I didn't like this expression, during the long daytime. How about during the daytime hours as well as during the night? That would be better. I didn't really like the long daytime. That was strange. I'm curious as to whether you're going to continue this letter in a neutral style. When you write contractions in your letters, you're making it informal or maybe a little neutral, but you have to be consistent. So let's see how you do the rest of the letter. I'd like to inform you that I work from a home office which is located in my garage just across from your lawn. During the day, I am unable to focus on completing my targets due to the boisterous barking of your tiny dog. Furthermore, I am unable to get a proper night's sleep *s because of the unnecessary disturbances caused by him during those times. These issues have resulted in me losing a number of my clients at work, because of which my company is now considering firing me. Oh boy. I would therefore suggest you either get your dog neutered or else help him redirect his energies to other activities such as long walks or playtime in dog parks. I believe the reason behind this excessive barking is your ignorance, not his fault, as you haven't been spending enough time with him. Yours sincerely, Karan Sharma. Okay. The tone of the letter is mostly formal. Okay, so for example, the I would like to inform you, the furthermore, because of which, I would therefore suggest. So a lot of this has a very formal tone. And for that reason, I would recommend that you keep the tone formal and get rid of these contractions and say, I am, I would, I am, and that's pretty much it, okay? Because it was a formal letter on the whole. The way you spoke, the way you wrote, all felt really rather formal. Other than that, it's fine. You certainly developed it. You gave a lot of information. Everything was, perfectly adequate, perfectly done, no problems. The language was quite good. I liked boisterous barking. It was all well done, okay? I don't know why you suggest getting him neutered. I don't know what this has to do with his barking, but okay, I'll go with it. That's fine. All right, so good job, Karen. I liked it on the whole. Just make sure that your tone is consistent. That is something that IELTS examiners will be looking for, to make sure that your tone is either consistently formal, consistently informal. There aren't many times when a letter in IELTS can be neutral. This could have been one of those, but I just felt that the rest of the language wasn't neutral, so it's better to be formal here. Okay, so now we're going to move on to your task 2. This is the one about green energy. There are 2 views here. Do they greatly reduce costs and are better for the environment, or are they a serious threat? Let's see what you said. Environmentalists, and economists throughout the developing and developed world have debated over the impact of renewable energy on the environment and the global economy. Some believe that green energy poses a threat to national and natural resource security. However, I partially disagree. This essay will argue both sides of the discussion using examples from the Climate Change Summit and IMF to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, so far so good. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that the widespread usage of solar, wind, and water energy not only helps in the reduction of carbon dioxide emission, but also helps in reducing the cost of energy production. This is largely because there is no involvement of combustion and the consequent emission of byproducts in the production of green energy, unlike the conventional forms of energy, which are derived from the burning of the expensive fossil fuel. All right, it's good. There are some tiny little grammar things that I want to fix, though. Let's see. Let me look at this sentence one more time, okay? This is largely because there is no involvement of combustion and the consequent emission of byproducts in the production of green energy, unlike conventional forms of energy, which are derived from the burning of expensive fossil fuel. That's what it was. You had 2 extra the here's. Okay, 2 extra thes here. Okay, for example, a recent recent empirical research by the Climate Change Summit reported a 1-degree reduction in the average temperatures in Paris, along with cutting down the cost to 1/4 when there was a shift in the source of energy production from coal to solar energy. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that renewable energy is essential for sustainability in terms of economics and the environment. All right, great, lovely, really nice. On the other hand, although there is a case for most governments' dependencies on the heavy taxation of what? I don't know why you're saying this here. I see a lot of people using this type of linking device between their two paragraphs, but I feel like this kind of thing is only appropriate if you have mentioned this sort of argument in the previous paragraph. If you're just introducing it here and nowhere else, then it really seems rather irrelevant and not appropriate. So, the other problem here is that you're supposed to have two sides of an argument here when you have an although. So you need to have an although X, on the whole, Y. Okay? So you need to have these two contrasting parts of a sentence here. Okay. So I think what you're trying to say is this. On the other hand, there is a case for most governments' dependencies on the heavy taxation on the production and consumption of coal, oil, and gas. So maybe it was just the although that was the problem. The fundamental reason behind such dependencies is that the major portion of government's income is derived from taxes imposed on the power and fuel industries, without which the economy of these nations would collapse. For example, a recent survey by the IMF stated that the taxation on energy contributes an approximate 35% of the total taxes collected by the governments, you don't need an apostrophe here, of countries such as India, China, Brazil, and even Russia. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that without these policies of heavy taxes on the energy sector, such countries will probably face an economic crisis. To conclude from the justifications and illustrations given, I firmly believe that if government dependency would probably make better sense on the taxation of conventional energy could be resolved, renewable energy is great for both the environment and the global economy. Okay, two things here, Karen, with this essay. Number one, this wasn't really on topic. When we talk about energy security, we're talking about the availability for this type of energy to be continuously available and at a low cost. So all of this thing about taxes from fossil fuels doesn't really work. It's not answering the question. It's off topic. Now, apart from that, I also didn't agree with your paragraphing. Since on the whole you're in favor of green energy, this paragraph needed to go second. The other paragraph, this one here, needed to go first. So that's that. Let's see what else you said. I partially disagree. Okay, so yeah, I think that this paragraph would have been better up here, and then the second paragraph should have been this one right here. But again, this paragraph was not properly developed, so that's going to create two problems for you. It's going to create a problem with your task achievement because you're not really answering the question about energy security here at all. Okay, you're answering something different. But this paragraph was fine. You covered both the environmental and economic benefits of this. Okay, so go ahead and correct these essays, return them back to us corrected. Do you have any more essays? I don't remember from your email if you do or not. I hope you do. I'd like to see more work from you. I'd like to see this issue with both task achievement and coherence and cohesion resolved. I want you to remember what the correct order of paragraphs is. The correct order is, first we talk about the side we don't agree with, then we talk about the side that we do agree with. I want you to really understand this concept, okay? So that's why I would recommend having more essays corrected with us before you take your exam, okay? So go ahead and correct these, and let's see what else you will write for us. Wishing you lots of good luck.